Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Mental Toughness and Body Show. My name is Rob Evans, and I'm your weight loss coach, health strategist, and internationally published author, helping take your life, your business, your health and fitness and body, and your mindset from where you are to becoming absolutely unstoppable. And today I'm going to continue on from yesterday, and today is all about reinforcing the goals. So we're up to day 4 of the new year. This is episode 4 in this current year to help take you from where it is that you really want to be, from where you are to where you really want to be in terms of your health, your fitness, your body this year. There's no better time than the start of the year. We're normally a bit more re-energized, refocusing on what we want to do for this next 12 months. And today we're going to reinforce what you've come up with up to this point in time over the last few days. So if this is the first one you're listening to, you need to go back 4 days and listen to the naked truth and work forward after doing each of those tasks through to now. So today we're going to take the goals that you came up with yesterday and we're going to break them down in a little bit more detail. So what I want you to do is have a think about now that 12-month transformation goal that you have in your mind. And I want to now break it down into 16-week chunks. Okay, 12-week chunks, 4 quarters. So we're going to focus on January to March, and I want you to write down what are those things that you want to achieve over that period of time. And then we'll go from April to June, et cetera, right throughout the whole year. So let's just say, for example, to give you some idea how I would approach this, let's just say that you've got a major weight loss goal that you want to achieve this year. And let's just say that it's, we'll keep it simple. We'll say it's 12 kilos just to keep it simple in terms of mathematics. 12 kilos, or it's about 24 to about 27 pounds. So we'll work in the kilos to keep it nice and simple. So 12 kilos is a kilo a month. So you might say that, okay, over this first quarter, I want to be losing 3 kilos. In the second quarter, I want to be losing, my cat has decided to come along to join us for the podcast. The second month, you want to get to 6 kilos, then to 9 kilos, and then in the last quarter, get to 12 kilos. That might be a way that you want to approach it so you're nice and consistent and you're getting a 3 kilo a month, a quarter weight loss. So then break that down further and say, okay, well, that's getting a kilo a month. Okay. Then break that down further and say, okay, well, that's giving me about 250 grams of weight loss a week. Okay, which is quite sustainable. It's quite achievable to be able to do that in a healthy way, eating the right way, getting your balance of exercise right as well. So then you're reverse engineering and saying, okay, well, that means I need to do 250 grams a week. Now, all of a sudden, 12 kilos of weight loss to 250 grams a week sounds like, oh, yeah, I could do that just by doing some little things consistently. That's just an example. Another one might be to do with some strength gains, and you want to achieve a certain strength gain by a certain period of time over this next quarter. You might be doing a fitness assessment, say, okay, I want to be able to run 5 kilometers in this amount of time. I want to do this many push-ups in a minute. I want to do this many squats in a minute, this many sit-ups in a minute. And you measure yourself at, say, 4-weekly intervals so that there's an opportunity with the work that you're doing to get some measurable change. It might be to do with your body fat percentage. And by the end of the year, you might want to be in single body fat percentage. But this one's a little bit different because you can't say, okay, well, I want to lose X percent body fat per week, because it's not going to work like that. It's just too hard to tell what your body's going to do in terms of the body fat percentage. So it may be just at the start of the year, you might be 18%. By the end of the year, you might say that or maybe you're high, maybe you're like 40% and you want to get down to, say, 30% body fat by the end of the year. That's obtainable for you. You've just got to put this into some measurable terms like we talked about yesterday so that you can see how that's going. In terms of centimeters lost, you might say, I want to lose X number of centimeters in clothes sizing or, physical dimensions. And you want to lose so much per quarter of that. So you got the idea. We're just focusing on some really specific things. Now, The other thing I want you to do is then think about, so what are those new things that you're going to be doing? I said to you yesterday, what are you going to stop doing? What are you going to start doing? So now it's time to say, okay, each quarter, what are those things that you're going to be able to reinforce each day for each quarter? So for instance, it might be a case of, look, I want to get to 6 meals a day. I want to get to 3 liters of water a day, or maybe it's 2 liters for you, maybe it's 1.5 liters for you. I want to start making sure that I'm doing 3 lots of cardio a week, or maybe it's 4, going for a walk. Maybe it's focusing on the 10,000 steps. Maybe it's doing 3 strength sessions a week. Maybe it's getting a coach. Maybe it's getting some reading in there. Maybe it's listening to some positive recordings, making sure you're listening to the Mental Toughness and Body Show each day. Whatever it is for you, I want you to start putting those things in each quarter as well. So for instance, let's just say that you're only eating 2 or 3 meals a day. For your first quarter from January to March this year, you might say, well, I want to make sure that I'm eating 4 highly nutritious meals a day. Okay, that might be your first one because you're currently eating 2 or 3. Let's take it to 4 and say, let's make them completely nutritious. Maybe it's cutting down your takeaway meals. Maybe it's cutting down alcohol. Maybe it's taking your water from 1 liter to 1.25 or 1.5. You come up with what are those things for you that are going to empower you to make these changes. When you get to the second quarter, you might change those and say, let's stick with the food one. And you say, okay, now I want to get to 5 nutritious. It might be 6. Whatever the number is for you, I want you to focus on how do we take you to that next level, that next level, that next level. Your exercise, your food. And it's not about putting in more exercise, because in some ways, some people might need to do less because they're training every single day, but the food is not matching the exercise. We've got to cut back the exercise a little bit, tighten up on the nutrition, make sure you're doing the right type of training. So maybe you're not doing any strength training at all. So you might say, okay, well, for the first quarter, I'm going to make sure that I do 2 sessions a week of strength training. By the time you get to the second quarter, you might say, well, I'm still going to do 2 sessions. Or you might say, actually, I want to do 3 sessions a week now, spread throughout the week. You've got the idea of what it is that you need to do. Some of the other things you might do is sleep. Let's think about sleep. You might have a poor sleeping pattern at the moment. And let's say you want to get to, maybe you're getting 5 hours of sleep at the moment. You want to get to 6. So what do we need to do to get to the 6? Getting to bed earlier, getting into a better sleep pattern, switching off the phone, putting the phone in another part of the house. So that it doesn't distract you, not having screen time so close to bedtime. There's a whole range of different things that you can do. That's my cat popping his head in again. So you come up with those things that are going to help serve you, and let's articulate them down by quarter, because this today is all about reinforcing your goal, breaking it down into more depth. So it's in more chunk size pieces that are easier for you to consume, like eating an elephant. And then the last part of this is about pictorializing it so that you've got a really strong visual. I like to use colored images or black and white, but images that are going to help drive me to get to where it is that I want. So for instance, it might be if they're strength goals. So one I had a few years ago was wanted to get 100 kilos on my bench press, 200 kilos on my deadlift, and 300 kilos on my leg press. So I got images of, inspiring lifts of those 3 things. And then I also wanted to get a coach. So I had a picture of the type of coach that I wanted. And I had those 4 images. I had my goal written across the top that I want to achieve those goals that I just said, plus a certain amount of body fat percentage, and then listed down the middle. So I imagine an A4 sheet. I had photo, had my statement across the top. And then down the center, I had my 6 things that I was going to do to achieve that. And they included things like making sure that I ate 6 nutritious meals a day, making sure that I did my strength training 3 times a week, making sure that I did my 10,000 steps a day, making sure that I took all my supplements, making sure that I got at least 6 hours sleep. And then also my last one was about making sure that I had a massage once every 4 weeks or 6 weeks because of what I was putting my body through, and I wanted to make sure that I regenerated myself. And then that was a one-page thing. I laminated it out. I put it in 3 parts of my house so that I would look at it throughout the day. I would see it. I'd have it like up on my wall here to my left. I'd have it on my ensuite window, and I'd have it in my studio as well. So it didn't matter where I was in those main rooms. I was always confronted with it, and I would look at it. I'd look at the inspiring pictures, and I'd say, man, that is what I'm going to achieve. So that really worked for me. In terms of telling you how I then progressed with that, I achieved my 300 kilo leg press. During my training for this, I discovered that I needed to have 2 more shoulder surgeries. So because of the nature of those, I had to kind of pull the pin on it. I got to, I think, 96, 97 kilos on my bench press. I didn't get to the 100 before I needed my shoulder surgery. And because of the amount of lifting for 200 kilos, I got to 182.5 kilos on my deadlift. So I didn't quite get there for the surgery. And then because of the nature of having 3 surgeries on my shoulder, I said, you know what, this just isn't worth just trying to lift heavy for the sake of lifting heavy. So I reassessed my goals and said, okay, I'm going to focus on the look that I want, the 6-pack, and work on it that way instead of focusing on just hitting numbers. So I decided to do it a little bit smarter. So it's going to look different for you. The point is, go through the process, get a great pictorial, display it, and focus on it every single day. That's all I want you to do for today. I realize that these last few days, they can push you, they can challenge you, but trust me, like I said yesterday, these are links in the chain, and we want to get your chain long. We want to get it strong. And if you do this work, you will get a different outcome. I guarantee you that you will not have done these last 4 days ever before. So if this is for the first time, it'll be your worst time at doing it. So I do encourage people to do this process over and over, but this will take you to a place that you've never been before with your health, your fitness, the body that you want. Challenge yourself, push yourself. Let's get something exciting happening for you this year that you've never done before. Get more energy in your life. Get that sexy look that you want. It's really exciting. Life is exciting. We've got uncertainty this year still with COVID, but you can have all the focus and direction that you want because it's coming from within you. I've got your back. Stay safe. See you tomorrow.